What is up, guys? I have to say I'm a little bit disappointed in myself. Mainly because I didn't trust my own analysis. I got myself confused. Yeah, I think part of it is also listening to others, and I shouldn't do that. I'm not here to insult anyone. I'm just saying sometimes it can be conflicting if you're listening to what other people are saying also in the chat. Not that I'm blaming or anything like that. I'm just saying it's just gonna hurt me and my trading skill if I let I don't know, just if I let those emotional reactions get to my trading. So yeah, let me just discuss what today's outlook was and my thinking was. Going into today, I thought, okay, we're having a classic expansion week. If you look, here's Monday's range. We swept Monday, came down Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday we're going to be bearish again, and then Friday TGIF, right? That's the typical way to go about it. So you can imagine seeing that seeing this manipulation of the previous day low took me a little bit by surprise, but I did think, okay, AMD, we're going to buy straight to this 1 hour fair value gap. I had this marked out, ready and waiting. But for my sell bias, I was waiting for the 1 hour to be manipulated, and then we go down and take out some other liquidity. So it was definitely surprising price sweep the lows first. And so naturally that should be a bullish bias, especially with this reaction. If we look on the 5 minute, nice liquidity sweep, inversions, breaking of structure, and their price comes down like textbook. Like, oh my gosh, it came down, retraced right down there to that order block, continued higher. But of course, we don't take trades immediately when market opens. So we were waiting to see what it does. And it looked like we were going to the 1 hour fair value gap, which would have been my target if I entered there or here, whatever. So my understanding was, okay, we're going to have some sort of double manipulation type of thing. So I was waiting for a reaction off of this hourly, but then this bullish bias crept in, and I was like, you know what, we're still respecting bullish sentiment. I'm gonna take my buy here. It's looking like we're going to move higher, but in actuality this was kind of a forced buy. As you can see, there's no structure to this retracement over here. If you look at S&P and US 30 at that exact same time, US 30 was we already took out a previous day low, but yeah, you can see the exact same dramatic reaction. Price doing that little order block formation, coming down and retracing. Not a very deep retracement, but we did retrace slightly during market open and then continued higher. At the time we were seeing SMTs at the highs, and that was playing on my sell bias over there. But of course, seeing this retracement and us pushing higher, I was looking for a retracement buy in this zone where we have order blocks and other PD arrays overlapping and being in discount made sense, right? So you can see why this reaction here makes sense for retracement. This is what you want to see when you're taking out liquidity, when you're retracing, when you're looking for PD arrays to react off of, not whatever this is. So I guess you could say, looking at the 15-minute, I was also watching this 15-minute fair value gap, and prematurely I was already thinking we're gonna close over. And I was also listening to the chat saying that we're going to sell. So yeah, I think, yeah, that was my bad, getting myself confused and just assuming things and not paying attention to what the overall structure is. We've also been consolidating so far, so I'm not sure what price is going to look like later on, if we're going to keep going higher or we're just going to hover around at the spot. But for me, the most definite thing was we had a manipulation after consolidating during the morning and early hours. This was an AMD setup that could have been caught at market open. I can't say that this was the retracement for an awesome buy, because we're not there yet. We don't know yet if price is going to reach up higher. But if we're looking at our standard deviation projection, we've reached this area, this hourly fair value gap. So it wasn't very convincing to me what price action opportunities there were gonna be for buys. If we're already at this area, we reached target so quickly, then we might end up coming this side. But yeah, the point is, we don't know if that's gonna be today. We can only judge on what's happening now, and what's happening now is this sell that we were supposedly in. We had this risk up here, but we then moved it down to here, and then we just kind of exited the trade around here very early because we were done waiting in this chop. It was a bit too much, and I was losing confidence in this trade and trading this day in general. But yeah, I would say that was not a great day in terms of reading or executing, but rather being more confident in my own analysis and sticking to it, and not being clouded by conflicting biases and opinions and things like that. Just need to make a note and remember, people trade differently. You know, people see things differently, and you shouldn't have those opinions floating in your head when you're busy trading. So I would say that had a small factor in today's trading, but it's also the emotional side of things. It was frustrating being in this trade, knowing that it was not a good trade. I remember each trade that I took here today, these two, I only took these two, but I remember regretting it the moment I entered. Every time I entered, I regretted it, and that should have been an early sign already that we were about to enter a very unfavorable, very risky trade. And so yeah, that was completely my own fault today for losing. But at least the bright side of things, we didn't lose much. We lose the equivalent of one trade if you add it together. As I mentioned many times before, I tried to risk about $30 per trade, and we lost, if I can get the figures now for you guys, we lost a total of $33.93, and that's relatively close to one trade, guys. And we lost 21 on that first one, and then closing that trade early, we took a $12.47 loss. So yeah, not looking good overall on the account. Yeah, we are now at our max daily loss of 383. Well, remaining 349. for today. But yeah, our max loss, and yeah, sorry, I am a little bit disappointed in today. It could have been avoided, but what can you do? Tomorrow is another day, so try to think positively. If you also lost today, it's okay. It was not a great day for price action in any case. But yeah, if I had to decide what tomorrow might look like, I would say if this was the manipulation for the week, say this was like consolidation reversal, then I would assume Friday would carry us higher into this area. If we are going to either just retrace to 50% of this wick on the 4 hour, or should I go to the daily, to this wick, at least the beginning of this wick. We can expect maybe Friday trading higher. That would confirm our profile for a Thursday reversal. But again, guys, it's a weird week. We are consolidating as a whole, like look at that. So don't be surprised, price is taking out daily lows and daily highs left and right. We are consolidating. Like, look at this megaphone type of price action. Yeah, it's just getting liquidity at the previous day highs and lows and etc. And price is just preparing for a manipulation, and a distribution, higher or lower depending. I do feel like we might still go lower, so I can imagine price still wants to take out the highs that it's been creating, and then eventually come lower, and then go high again and then continue all the way high. I'm just guessing, but like in future. But as for now, I can see Friday pushing up higher, much higher. We have some PD arrays resting here. There's a hourly inverse, another hourly inverse on the 4 hour. We've got the C of this wick, or you could take the C of the daily. But yeah, those are the targets I'm looking for if I'm looking to buy tomorrow, which is a possibility. If we are 100% on board with this Thursday reversal profile. Looking at USD, yeah, look at that. I can see how classic expansion would have played a role in this, because originally I did think we're going to have a classic expansion, but now looking at it, it's hard to tell sometimes. That's why these profiles aren't like 100%. There's like variations to it. It doesn't always look pretty. So sometimes maybe Wednesday does most of the move for the week, and then Thursday just needs to put a low to make it like, oh, classic expansion. We did technically go lower on Thursday. Now we're going higher on Friday, TGIF. But whatever. The point is, just watch price react off of key high time frame levels, previous day lows, major lows and highs, session lows and highs, and not pay attention to the weekly profile too much. But it is important to see where we're reversing for the entire week. But yeah, it's definitely looking like we are reversing with this Thursday dramatic candle. It's an hourly inversion, like, yeah, there was no doubt about it. but of course we had doubts today, and yeah, paid the price for it, I guess. So yeah, let me not make this too long. You guys know what's what and what we expect and what we are looking forward to. Make sure that you join 3 p.m. weekdays, not including Mondays. Mondays we don't trade, and obviously not the weekend, market is closed. But yeah, join me 3 p.m. weekdays. I'll be live trading. You guys can chat, discuss. People even drop signals, you know. Yeah, be part of the community. I do want to grow it. So yeah, people have been mentioning a Discord, and I guess I'll be working on that this week. Hopefully this weekend we can get that done and dusted, and the next week I can announce a Discord community, and we can just, you know, chill, vibe, discuss, watch the market together, you know. So that's the plan. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Cheers. Stay positive.